Oh, morning. We're live. Morning. Had a lovely day again today. I can stop moaning about the weather now. Oh, how is everyone feeling today? And who is going to be here? I got that. That's a bit better. Let's see the end of the mat. Good morning, Jules. Are you dog walking or are you joining us today? Hey Claire, hey Ali. I'm getting to recognise these profile pics a little bit now. Oh God, I've got two dogs outside. Morning Claire, morning Lou. I'm going to be doing this tonight. We're up and doing live with you. I've got dogs scratch at the door. Shall I let them in for a minute? You meet my doggies. My naughty doggy, my good doggy. Oh, there we go, quick run past. All right, little boy. Okay. Morning, Sue from London. Morning, Brenda. This one's for you, Brenda. Okay. This little boy, my Danny Doo-Doo, we rescued him a year ago. He's 13. Morning, Sarah. And he's always been very, very, very... We've had so many trips to the vet. He has a case of bad tummy, doesn't eat for days, he's literally skin and bone. And this is about day 23 where he's eating. He's on steroids now though. So he's on steroids, but he's eating loads. And he's such a little love. Morning Ruth, morning Jan. He's such a little baby. Now I could keep him in here while I practice my yoga. Morning Arlene. But the other little one, little mischief, can't keep in here and there. Morning Wendy, nice to see you. Yes, you little mischief, talking about you. Let's say hello to the camera. Hello. Hello everybody. So do some doggy yoga today. Okay, so morning Caroline. So today we are going to be doing some core work, some strength, and this is for Brenda. Brenda Hewitt messaged me and said, it's great to do some core work, so that is what we're going to do. So you can blame Brenda for it. We did it the other week, we did it on day 8. So 11 days ago. So yeah, it's probably time we revisited that anyway. Now when we practice yoga, really we're working the core in everything that we do, because this is why I'm always saying belly in, pelvic floor lifted, belly in, pelvic. So we always should be practicing the core, but obviously there are some postures that will target the core more than others. Morning Ruby, nice to see you online with us. So let's get started. We're going to be mainly on the floor. Jules says yay. I'm not sure if that's a yay or a yay. So we're going to be mainly on the floor. We're going to be coming up for one posture, I think, but otherwise we're going to be down on the floor. So get your mats, have your water. No props needed today, I don't think. So let us go. Dogs are shut out now. So we are going to start, hi Judith, we are going to start on hands and knees for a little cat-cow. Or Vajrasvasa, I do like the Sanskrit name more. Vajrasvasa, tiger breathing. Dog's now scratching the door, so if there's any strange noises going on, it is the dogs. Okay, fingers are spread, little fingers bringing in towards your, what finger is this? Your ring finger. Just to transfer the weight from your wrist to the shoulder. Knees under hips, and we're going to just work with the breath. So exhaling completely and inhaling. We're going to lift the tailbone, shoulder blades. This is the important part. Shoulder blades coming back towards the hips and lengthening through the neck. No need to lift the chin up. We're just lengthening as if the crown of the head is being pulled forward. Exhaling, pull up the belly, chin into chest. Tailbone tucked under, Inhaling, shoulders back to the hips, hips to the sky. Head reaching forward, neck is long. Exhaling, pull up the belly, chin to chest. Inhaling, hips high, shoulders back. Exhaling, pull up the belly, chin to chest. So you see we're not bending the elbows here, inhaling. A lot of people when they come into this inhale start to bend the elbows. We don't want that. Draw your heart through the arms, exhaling round the spine, chin to chest. Inhaling, heart forward, hips high. Really nice release for the back, exhaling. Inhaling, so feel this nice stretch along the back muscles. Exhaling, stretching through the shoulders. Inhaling, just working with your breath. So your flow might be a different pace to mine. So if you're breathing, if your exhale is longer, you want to be moving on your breath rather than controlling movement, control your breath. Hope that makes sense. So don't onto your breath and don't breathe quicker than you should do. Just let the breath. So you might be moving at a different pace, but you're inhaling, the chest forward, hips high, and you're always when the body closes in and you draw up your belly. Inhaling. And last one, the exhale. And then a neutral spine. So when we come into new, that we have in the back's natural little dip, we want to take that away. So you want to draw in your belly, so drawing those abdominal muscles, and the lower rib cage might be dropping down to the floor. So you're going to engage your upper abdominal muscles, these muscles just between the lower ribs, and draw those lower ribs down towards your belly button. So drawing them in and down. So we've got more of a flat table position in the back. I'm going to tuck the toes and keep in that flat table position. Let's lift the knees an inch off the floor. Okay, it's just an inch. We're not up here. It's just an inch, so we're hovering off the floor. Keep stability through the shoulders by turning the triceps towards the back of the mat. You might feel a little bit of wobble and shaking going on. Breathe through it, breathing in and out through the nose. So it's your core that's keeping your knees off the floor. You might be feeling it in the shoulders, they're working as well, but your core is keeping. Remember to breathe, don't hold your breath. Relax the jaw, let the tongue drop away from the roof of the mouth, relax the neck. Oh, bring the knees to the floor, bum to heel, stretch back and stretch those arms out. Ah, that's nice, a nice stretch through the back. So you'll often see that my head is lifted and I'm creasing up through the neck. That's just because I'm kind of looking around at the camera. So you always want to be thinking about long neck. Okay, just taking some weight off the wrists. Keeping the hands where they are, fingers nice and spread. Draw that little finger in. Come up onto the knees. Tuck the toes. Lift the knees and press the belly back towards the thighs. So see how bent my knees are right now? My bum is high, but I'm bringing my belly and chest towards the thighs. Still activating through the core, so drawing the rib cage in, and then keeping this length in the spine. Start to straighten your legs, dropping the heels towards the floor. So you've got our downward facing dog. Okay, we're going to move in our dog here. So I'm going to bring the feet slightly closer together so we don't topple over to one side. The dog's barking outside the door now, she wants to come in. That's a naughty one. Okay, right leg, we're going to inhale and lift. And then we're going to bring that right knee to the right elbow. So you want to squeeze your tummy in and up and draw the knee to the elbow. Inhale, lift it up, out and back. Extend. Exhale to the nose, squeeze the belly up, knee to nose. Inhaling, lifting, extending. Right knee to left elbow, so we've got a little down dog twist, planky thing going on. And up to the sky. To the nose, squeeze up and in, lift it to the nose. Really come up onto the back, onto your toes at the back. Inhale, lift up. Right knee to right elbow, squeeze that belly up. Inhaling and lifting. And knee to nose. Take it down to the floor and drop those knees down. Bum to heels, stretch those hands away. Okay, you can just release the wrists here, so give the wrists a little circle. Take the hands the opposite direction. Nice release for the wrists is to come onto the back of the hands, so fingers facing towards the knees. Coming onto the backs of the hands, you feel a little. So if you've got any arthritis in the wrists, you don't want to be pushing them into these directions, but just take a little bit of weight. Okay, we are going to do left leg. Are you ready? Here in my eye. So, bum to heel, stretch it out. Come up onto the knees, tuck the toes, lift the knees, belly to thighs, chest coming towards the thighs, but keep control of the belly muscles, so abdominal muscles are in, rib cage in and down. And then we lift that bum and start to straighten the legs. Arms are active, so your triceps, the backs of the top of the arms turning towards the back of the mat, pressing down into the floor, this little space between the index finger and the thumb. And left leg. Leg up. And bring that left knee to the left elbow. Use your belly muscles to lift that. Inhaling, lift up and back. Scoop knee to nose. Suck up the belly, round the spine, push down into the hands. Inhaling, lengthen up and back. Knee to the opposite elbow. So get this little twist, working those oblique muscles. Inhaling, lifting up. Knee to nose, scoop it up, woohoo. Inhaling, out to the back, and left knee to left elbow. Inhaling, up and out, and knee to nose, scoop it in. Really use those tummy muscles, and take it up and back to the floor, knees down, bum to heels. Release those wrists. Okay, I think a lot of you, the toughest thing you're going to find about that is the wrists. So yoga does really help to strengthen your wrists. When I was practicing yoga in my 20s, a little while ago, a couple of years ago, I used to wear wrist straps a lot. I used to wear this because it was so painful. But with practice, they do strengthen. You just really need to be careful of your hand placement. Again, making sure that this space between thumb and index finger stays down. This little finger, this is a really good trick. We're always asked to spread it, but when we bring this finger in, it takes off the pressure from the outside of the wrist here. Takes it up to the shoulder and really stabilising through the shoulders as well. So this space between under the armpit, really trying to squeeze it in, so turn that tricep towards the back of the mat. It's really going to help strengthen the wrists and take pressure off the wrist. Obviously, if you've got carpal tunnel or arthritis, then you know you need to adjust and adapt a little bit more, and you might need to come off the wrists. You might need to use the fists instead. So you'll find a way. But wrist straps are available if you need to give some more support. Okay, you're here. So we're going to come up. Tuck the toes, lift the bum. Too much talking, not enough doing. Let's go. Just step in the feet towards the hands. All the hands towards the feet. Keep the chest low. Hands to the hips. I've got a little softness in my knees. Bum is high to get that nice stretch in the hamstrings. Pull up the pelvic floor, pull in the belly, lift the chest, halfway. Hi Frida, hi G. Inhale all the way up. That's a really picture when I go halfway up to see my big face. Okay, we are going to do one traditional trikonasana, traditional triangle. So it's not like our Western one. So if you've got a wall, I recommend you come against a wall because you're really going to feel it. Excuse me, I have a runny nose today, so I just need to wipe my nose. So if you've got a wall close by, I recommend you use it. Don't worry if you haven't, but try this later against a wall and you really can see the difference. So our feet are, our legs are wide. Remember this leg distance, so here is not enough. You want a nice wide stretch. So remember this trick, and I'm curious if anyone's done this yet. If you attach a rope or a piece of string around your wrist, when it drops down to the floor, it should just hit the outside edge of your ankle. That's when we know we are in the right leg distance apart. Yes, I have done it. And I have put little markers on my mat so that I know where my feet go. Not on this mat, but I've done it in the past. So all 10 toes are facing forward. Outside edges of the feet are parallel with your mat. Engage the legs, so feel your feet ground into the floor, so you're pushing down with your feet, but then draw that energy up the thighs. So you feel the energy come up through the kneecaps, the thighs. Pelvic floor is active, so imagine you're desperate for a wee and you engage down into the pelvic floor. Pull in the lower belly, lengthen through the spine, arms out. So when we lengthen, often this happens. I might be exaggerating a bit there, but the bum comes out, rib cage comes forward. We want to activate these upper abdominal muscles, draw that rib cage down and in, lengthen the spine, don't dump down into your lower back. So if you were against a wall now, the back of your hips and your shoulder blades are touching the wall and they're going to stay against the wall all times. Turn those palms forward so they're facing forward. Inhaling. Exhaling, bending from your waist to the left. So, haven't moved the arms, I'm not taking left arm down and right arm up. This is not what we're doing today. We've got a nice line between the thumbs, so one thumb to the other. Arms haven't moved. The only action we've taken is this hinging in the spine through the waist. We're going to stay here. So if you're against a wall, your shoulder blades are still against a wall, because I know what happens when people do this. The bum comes out and the chest comes forward. See this? You are not getting a stretch and you are not getting any strength here. This is not helping at all. So your back of your shoulder blades and the back of your hips stay in the same line. On your next inhale, push into those feet. Use your leg muscles. Pull in that belly and come all the way up. Exhale over to the other side, right side. Reach through those fingers, pull up the pelvic floor, pull in the belly. You should feel a nice warmth, maybe a little trembling, maybe a little tremor around the waist. Belly. Just engage and breathe. Some of you are holding on to your breath. Okay, we're holding on to the posture, we're not. Breath is always there. Next inhale, come on up. Release the arms. Shoulders getting warm. Oh, I feel that in the shoulders today. I'm doing a lot of work in the garden at the moment though, so my upper body is working. Okay, we're going to do that again. That one was just a practice. So your feet are facing forward. Outside edges of the feet parallel with the edges of the mat. Pelvic floor lifting your hip bones, these hip bones at the front. Just see if they're shining down towards the floor. So you can put your hands in the front of your hips in the groin area, and if they're going down towards the floor, you want to shine those lights forward. So imagine you've got spotlights in the front of your hips, you want them shining all the way forward. It's going to help you lengthen out the back. Upper abdominals active, arms out, palms forward, Inhaling, lift up through the crown of the head. Exhaling to the left. Belly is in. We're not doing anything with the neck, so we're not looking up, we're not looking down. Neck stays neutral, we're just looking straight ahead. This is a super posture to really start to trim your waist and work those oblique muscles, strengthen the obliques. So remember, our core is not just the six pack. It is the six pack, the lower abs, the upper abs. It's also the obliques, these big muscles around the sides, and the back muscles, the muscles that support the spine. Inhaling all the way up. Exhaling to the side. I'm still breathing. So if I'm not saying inhale or exhale, I'm just assuming that you are breathing. Okay, so this is, just to remind you, Brenda, I don't even know if she's online today actually, but did you say hello, Brenda? Asked particularly for some core work, so she's got it, and so have the rest of you. All the way up, release those hands. If you're facing side onto your mat, turn around to face the top of your mat again. Inhaling, arms up. Exhaling, fall to the floor. Soften those knees, push the bum away, lengthen the spine, hands to the floor. Inhale, halfway up, shoulders back towards the hips. Exhale all the way over, nose to toes. And step those feet back, back into plank. Should we just stay here for a bit in plank? Plank is the one that will work all of your core everywhere. So if you want to work your plank a little bit hard, you can lift that right foot off the floor, but don't collapse into the back. Take it down, lift the left foot off the floor, just an inch. Take it down, bring both knees onto the floor, reach your bum back towards your heels, stretch those hands out. Nice breather. Okay, I'm going to take a layer off for this next one. We are going to go for a swim with our dolphin pose. So, another great one for the core and for the shoulders. For our dolphin, you need to get your shoulder distance. So you're going to come down onto the elbows and you're going to wrap the arms around the hands around the upper arms. So I'm going to face this way so you can see what I'm doing. So the fingers are wrapped around. We don't want to tickle the biceps. We want to be able to get a really good wrap around there. Okay? And then your elbows are going to stay in place. We're going to release the hands and interlock the fingers. So that little finger that's down on the floor right now, just pop it in to the inside of the palm. See that? So you're not going to squash down that little finger. Okay. So with shoulder distance, got the hands interlocked, got that little finger tucked in. Now just here, just press into the outside of your wrists, your forearms and elbows, press down into the floor, and notice how this lengthens the neck. So it takes your shoulders away from the ears. And this is the action we want to keep. We don't want to jump down into the neck. We don't want to lose our neck into the shoulders. We're really keeping this action, so we're pushing down into the floor. Tuck the toes, lift the knees, lift the bum. So it's like downward dog, only we're on our elbows rather than our hands. It's called dolphin pose. The same action is going on in the upper body. So you've got control of the abdominal muscles, rib cage is in. Then we're going to come up high onto the toes, like really high onto the toes. And then we are going to swim our dolphin. So with your inhale, we're going to move the chin forward over the wrists. Exhale, we're going to move the crown of the head back between the elbows. Inhaling, chin is forward. Exhaling, we come back. Inhale, we come forward. Exhale, we come back. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Take the knees down to the floor. Sit back on the heels and lift the head and chest. Oh, it's hard, isn't it? I hope you found that challenging, because if you didn't, you're doing something wrong. Okay, and I'll tell you what people do mostly. People who come to my class know what I'm going to say now, because we do this a lot in my classes and I see the same things happening all of the time, and it's quite a common mistake, is that we use momentum rather than strength to get us forward and backwards. So I'm going to turn around so I've got my feet more in view here. So what happens when people go for their swim, if you watch my feet, they push forward onto the toes and back. Now watch the angle in my hips. It doesn't really change. All I'm doing is pushing into my feet. I'm lifting the heels, I'm dropping the back. This is not working the core. So what we want is to come up really high on your toes, keep your heels high and stay there. So they're in this position. And then this motion of coming forward is actually from the core. So moving from the core. So we're going to do that again. So I want you to think about that. Now, one little trick you can do is to have a block under the heels. Maybe 2 blocks. So that you can't take your heels to the floor. So this is actually quite good to do. My heels aren't quite as high as I would normally have them here. But I'm going to stay there. So get your shoulder distance, arms wrap around your hands wrap around the upper arms, interlock the fingers, bring the little finger in, push down into the hands, forearms, elbows, come up onto the elbows. Okay, so my heels are now touching the block, and that's where they are going to stay. So I'm going to inhale, moving forward, exhale, moving back. Now do you see the angle in my hips? Opens and closes. I'm not using my feet to push me forward. My heels aren't quite as high as they would normally be because this block is a little bit low. Are you doing this with me or are you just watching? I hope you're doing it with me. So now we're using this big psoas muscle that wraps around from the spine to the upper thighs. Few more. Inhale forward, exhale back. Last one. Inhale forward, exhale back. Bring the knees down, bring the bum to the heels, bring those hands back towards the feet. Relax the shoulders. Forehead towards the floor. Remember, if your head doesn't reach the floor, you can always use a block or a cushion to rest the forehead on. It actually feels quite nice. Few breaths there. Oh, we've got some heat going yet. Hey Bjorn, you dolphining with me? Hey Gary, awesome you. See you. So, dolphins, quite challenging. Heart might be going a bit faster, might be feeling a bit warmer, might be feeling all these muscles around. So remember, our core is not just the abdominal muscles, it's the side muscles and the back. So one of the great postures we can do for these muscles in the back is our cobra pose, Bhujangasana. So let's come down onto the belly. Nice long spine, so always take a little wiggle. Legs lengthened out behind. Tops of the thighs, hip bones down into the floor, and pubic bone pressing into the floor. This is going to create length in your lower back. If you don't press into the floor, what will happen is your hips will lift a bit, your tailbone will lift a bit, and you'll feel compression here. So if ever you feel compression in your lower back, press that pubic bone down into the floor. Move forward a little bit. Your hands are going to slide down towards your chest, elbows coming up towards the ceiling and squeezing into the body. So imagine you're trying to squeeze onto your ribs. Cobra is a snake, so snakes don't have limbs, so we haven't got arms and legs sticking out. We want a nice smooth line. Now, if you do have any lower back problems, any disc or vertebra problems, please keep your legs a little bit wider. Okay? If your back is healthy, your feet come together, your thighs come together, and we're going to work with the breath. So on the inhale, we lift the head, the chest, So rib cage off the floor. Exhale, we come a bit lower. Inhale, we lift. Now your lift might be an inch, you might be quite low, and that is absolutely perfect. Exhale down. If you're using your back muscles rather than your arm muscles, you might be coming up just a couple of inches, and that is much better. Exhale down. Inhale to lift. That is much better than pressing into the arms. We don't want to press down into the arms. We don't want to straighten the arms. It's a small movement. Think about your back. Inhale, lift. Pubic bone pressing down into the floor. Exhale to lower. Inhaling to lift. Exhaling to lower. Inhale to lift and hold it there. All 10 toenails are still on the floor. Pubic bones pressed into the floor, front of the hips, thighs. Maybe you can lift your hands off the floor. Now if you've just dropped a few inches, you're probably using arm strength more than back strength for your cobra. Inhale, lift it up. Take the hands behind the back, interlock the fingers. Press the heels of the hands together and reach down towards the feet. Take the shoulders away from the ears. Lengthen the neck. So again, we don't want to lift the chin up and compress the neck. Neck stays long. Few breaths. And release all the way down. Hands to the chest. Tuck the toes, press back onto the knees. Thumb to heels, stretch it out. Oh, I think I'm going longer and longer with these classes, aren't I? That's okay. As long as you've got time, I've got time. That's fine. Bring those hands in towards the knees. Bring the legs out in front. Hey Moya. Moya is watching with us. Are you doing or watching, Moya? Hope you're doing all right, lovely. Okay, so we're up on the bum. Bringing those feet in. Got hold. No, I haven't got hold. Should we do something different? Wrap. So we're hugging those legs in. But notice, we don't want to do this. This is not what we want. So you can take the feet further away. Belly towards the thighs, rib cage towards the thighs, nipples towards the knees. Want this back nice and straight. I'm going to walk those toes back. See how I'm now moving towards the back of my sit bones. And then the toes come off the floor. Ooh. So we're still hugging in the thighs. Toes are off the floor. Spine is long, belly towards the thighs, rib cage, and nipples to knees. You don't want nipples to thighs, this will happen. Lengthen and lift. Maybe you can take those arms up to the sky. Wah! Okay, now your tummy muscles are really working. Cross that left ankle over the right and hug those thighs in closer. And release, cross the ankles the other way, right over left, hug them in. Hug, 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 hug. Keep breathing, don't hold your breath. Bring the hands down, hug those thighs in. Oh, that's a toughie. Feet to the floor. Okay, so now we're going to take hold behind the knees. At least I know, those of you that go straight on to do Sarah's class after this, she's not doing core today. She's doing cheese today. Lots of cheesy music, a lot of really, really fun class. I know it's one of Sarah's favourites to teach. It really gets energy high. But at least I know she's not doing core, so working your core now. Okay, so you're drawing those. Shoulders are back, spine is long. Lift that right foot off the floor. And take it down, lift the left foot. Lift the right foot. Lift the left foot. You know what's coming. At some point they're both up together, so let's hold them both up together. We've got hold behind the knees, so it's not too bad right now. Nipples to knees, shoulders back, spine long, neck is long. Pelvic floor lifted, lower belly pulling in. Upper abdominal muscles active. Maybe to the feet. Maybe. Do you feel it? You might feel it in the thighs more than the tummy muscles. That's okay. Your thighs are screaming, let me down, and your tummy muscles are saying, no. Bring the heels to the floor, lengthen the spine. Oh, just got a bit of cramp. Okay. Okay, let's try something new. Take those feet a little bit wider, toes are up. I'm going to reach down between the legs and take hold of the big toes. Now I've got two fingers that come between the big toe and the second toe. Little thumb is on top, so you can get really good grip of the toe, and the other side as well. Two fingers between the big toe and the second toe. Walk those heels in, lengthen that spine, lift that right leg up, lift that left leg up, elbows bend out to the sides, draw those thighs towards the chest, push those heels away. Now you'll see that my knees have got a little bend in them. My hamstrings are quite, so I'm really feeling this, the hamstrings, but what is those belly muscles and back muscles, all those muscles around the core are keeping you in. Few breaths. And bend those knees, hug them in. And release those legs and come all the way down onto the floor. Bring in the knees, have a little rock side to side. Let me see what Michelle is saying. I've frozen, so I'm off to hang out the washing. Okay, I hope I haven't frozen for anyone else. Okay, so we're nearly there. We are nearly there. Coming down onto the back. Release the legs out in front. I think my head might have just gone missing off the edge. I don't know if you can still see me now. Doesn't matter, you don't need to see my head. Feet are flexed, so the toes are pointing towards the shins. Inhaling, right leg lifting up to the sky. Exhaling to lower. Left leg on the inhale. Exhale to lower. Right leg on the inhale. Exhale to lower. Left leg. And down. And right leg. And down. Keep the abdominal muscles in, left leg. Keep the lower back pressing down into the floor. One more each side. And down. And left leg. And down. Both legs together, lift them up, lower back into the floor. And we want knees over hips, so we don't want the knees too far in, we don't want them too far out. So if your hamstrings are tight, you might need to bend your knees a little bit so you can have knees over hips. We want a right angle. So it doesn't matter if your heels are dropping away, if you've bent the knees, but we don't want to bring them in here. Push those heels up as far as you can. Flex the feet, toes down towards the face. Keep that rib cage in. Don't let your rib cage pop up to the ceiling. You're going to take these arms up over the head. Keep the rib cage in. Keep that back against the floor. Knees over hips. Very simple posture. We're just lying on the floor with our legs in the air. Boy, but does it work. Don't let that back come up off the floor. Rib cage is pulling down towards the floor. This front rib cage, suck it down, use those upper abdominal muscles. Pelvic floor, we've got a lot of activity going on right now, and hopefully you're feeling the heat. We're working the core, which is associated with our solar plexus chakra, which is our fiery chakra. Okay, the element of our solar plexus chakra is fire. It really works the digestive system. Helps you feel strong and confident and in control. Get you a bit hot. Hug those knees in. I give them a little hug. Oh, that feels good. Taking the arms out to the side so you can take them shoulder height, palms down towards the floor, or you can take goalpost arms, which is quite nice. And drop those knees over to the right. So remember, the higher you bring your knees towards your right armpit, the higher up the spine you're going to twist. Your spine might not like this, and particularly if you do have any disc or vertebra problems, take your twist a little bit more gently so the knees are much further away from your right shoulder. Again, if you've got more flexibility, bring them up a little bit higher. Most important thing is that your left shoulder is staying on the floor. So my gaze straight up to the ceiling, or if it feels okay on the neck, you can look over that left shoulder. Taking this twist all the way up through to the top part of the spine. And pulling in the belly, bring those knees back to center. And then when you feel your spine released, bring them the opposite direction. So remember as well, you can always use, just to show you here, if your knees don't come to the floor, or a cushion or a pillow or a blanket under the knees, it's absolutely fine to do that. Bring them down to the left. And it's going to feel different this side. I'm really feeling this on this side, knees dropping to the left. Feels much more of an intense twist than it did on the other side. My knees aren't quite as high, but it feels good. So just because you can do something on one side doesn't mean to say that you can or that you should do it on the other side. Listen to your body, listen to its differences. Few breaths. So we had a nice stretchy class yesterday. Actually really enjoyed yesterday's class. So today was not so stretchy, it was more about activation. So I hope you enjoyed it, I hope you felt some benefits of it. Bring those knees back to center. Oh, release those legs down onto the floor. You can bring the hands onto the belly. Just taking a few breaths in and out, let the eyes close. Just taking a few moments, relaxation. So just remind you of live things going on at the moment. Obviously we've got Sarah's classes at 11 o'clock every morning. We've also got Tom doing a live cooking display, cooking demonstration at 5 o'clock in the evenings, I think that's Monday to Friday. We've got Moonshine that are giving us music live online at 6, I think it is. There is so much going on at the moment, so however you want to be entertained, whether you want some exercise, whether you want some inspiration with cooking, whether you want to listen to some music, there is lots of things for you online at the moment. Now I know Michelle says that I froze, so I hope I didn't freeze for everybody. Thank you all for staying with me. Oh, I feel that today. Really feel that. So, have a wonderful, wonderful day. Don't forget about your gratitudes. I was listening last night to a workshop, if you like, a big conference, a lot of global leaders in the network marketing world. And every single person that is successful, certainly every single successful person that I've heard of, every day writes down their gratitudes. Every single day, without fail, they write down their gratitudes. Gratitudes make you realise how good things are. When you're full of gratitude, it's really hard to see negativity. So always take a moment for your gratitudes. 3 things. Gratitude for yourself. Gratitude for your yoga practice. Gratitude for someone or something in your life that you're grateful for today. Today I was grateful for my morning breakfast smoothie because I did a cleanse day yesterday, and from about lunchtime yesterday I was craving my breakfast, so I was very grateful for my breakfast this morning. I was so grateful for the view that we have here. When I get up in the morning I look out the window, it's a beautiful view that we have, and I'm really grateful for all you that join me every morning, or even some of you that don't join me for morning but you watch this class a little bit later. So fill yourself with gratitude and enjoy. What's Claire saying? Really good. She can actually do the plank now. Claire Dalton, you are our superhero. You know why. Keep up the good work. I'm so full of gratitude for your progression and for you joining in. Thank you, everybody. Have a lovely day.